Hi, in this playlist we're going to be looking at the Edexcel November 2018 paper 3 for the higher tier. I'm going to aim for the whole paper to be broken down into 3 or 4 different videos of about 20-25 minutes or so in duration. Please do stop the video, have a go at each of the questions, compare your solutions. Should give you roughly about an hour's worth of fairly focused revision. If you're not sure about anything, always add a comment below, and I'll look forward to seeing you inside the video. Hi, this is the final video in the playlist where we're looking at the November 2018 and it's the Maths Higher Tier paper for Edexcel. In the previous video we completed through to question number 18, so we're going to start here from question number 19. Please do stop the video, have a go at each of these questions, compare your solutions. If you're not sure, always add a comment, and I have playlists on the channel that I'll be able to direct you through with this type of question. So, solve algebraically the simultaneous equations. Well, the issue we've got here is we've got this x squared and y squared. It's actually the equation of a circle. And then this one here, we've got x plus 2y equals 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use substitution. I'm going to say, well, actually, if that is the case, I can just write that as x equals 1 minus 2y. And then I use this value of x in here, and that will then only give me values of y in that equation, because I can write it as 2 times 1 minus 2y squared. Remember, this is the x term, minus y squared equals 17. And really it's just a case now of solving this for y and finding the value. Okay, so let's expand this out. I'm going to get 1 minus 2y multiplied by 1 minus 2y minus y squared equals 17. So I have left this as, there's only 2 questions in this actual video, so this is the very end of the paper. Inevitably they are going to be a little bit trickier to work through, but have a go at it. Okay, so 1 times 1 is 1, and then I've got minus 2y is minus 4y, and then I've also got minus 2y times minus 2y is plus 4y squared minus y squared equals 17. Now, if you're not sure what I've done there, please do let me know, and I will give you direction towards some other videos. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is multiply out by the 2. So I'm going to get 2, that's 2 times 1, minus 8y plus 8y squared minus y squared equals 17. And then really I'm just going to tidy that up. So if I just get rid of the, or just tidy up the y squared, I'm going to get plus 7y squared equals 17, and then I'm going to put that in order, and I'm also going to make it equal to 0, because at this particular point I'm going to need to factorize it. So what I'm going to end up with is 7y squared minus 8y, and that's going to be positive 2 minus 17 is going to be minus 15 equals 0. And then really it's a case of factorizing. Okay, now there are a couple of different ways of doing this. I guess most people will go ahead and use the quadratic equation. And that's perfectly fine to do that. It's not a problem. And what I'll do, just as an aside, I'll write the quadratic equation here. X equals minus b plus or minus the root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Okay, and you can use that in order to solve this equation, and it will work perfectly well for you. The other way of doing it is just a little bit of a kind of a slightly different way. And again, if you're not sure, send me a message and I'll be able to put you some playlists, or I'll put your link through some playlists. What I would do is I'd say 7 times minus 15 is going to equal minus 105. Okay, and what I'm looking for is two numbers that when I multiply them together make minus 105, and when I add them together make minus 8. Now, actually, those two numbers are going to be minus 15 and plus 7. So when I multiply them, I get 105. When I add them together, I get minus 8. Okay, so I'm going to rewrite this equation now as 7y squared plus 7y, which is this 7y here, minus 15y minus 15 equals 0. And what that allows me to do now is to factorize the first two terms and look for a common term with these two terms and these two terms. Okay, so if I factorize this for 7y, I'm going to get y plus 1. And if I factorize this for minus 15, guess what? I'm going to get y plus 1 equals 0. So therefore, I can write this now as 7y minus 15 multiplied by y plus 1 equals 0. So now I've got my two values of y. My first value of y is going to be positive 15 over 7, and my second value of y is going to be minus 1. Okay, so I don't know how much you'll have been able to follow that, but perhaps it might be, at that point, might be worthwhile having a look at the quadratic formula, and you should get the same solution, hopefully anyway. Yes, you will. Okay, so we've now got two questions to ask, and the first question is going to be that when y equals 15 over 7, what's the value of x? Well, the value of x, if you remember back from our original formulas, is going to be x equals 1 minus 2y. So we can use that and substitute in the value of y here. So rather than writing x equals 1 minus 2y, I'm going to write x equals 1 minus 2 times 15 over 7. Now, it is a calculator paper, so just on that, I'm not really going to go through the process, but you're going to end up with 1 minus 30 over 7, and then either put that in a calculator or do something with it, and you should get an answer of minus 23 over 7. Okay, so we've now got x equals minus 23 over 7 when y equals 15 over 7. So I'm going to write that down here. X equals minus 23 over 7 when y equals 15 over 7. That's my first answer. And then my second answer is when y equals minus 1. So I write in here when y equals minus 1. The value of x is going to be 1 minus 2y, which is going to be 1 minus 2 times minus 1. Remember, a minus times a minus is a positive, so that's going to give me a value of 3. X equals 3. So my final one is going to be x equals 3 and y equals minus 1. And that's the answer to that particular question. I hope that's been useful to you. Please, as I say, do have a look at other playlists within the channel, and that'll give you a bit more information on those. Okay, let's move on then to question number 20, which is the last question in the paper, and it's a translation type question. So what we're going to do with that is it says that A is transformed by the combined translation of a rotation of 180 degrees. Okay, that's fine. So the first thing we've got to do is we've got to just treat it entirely separately. Let's have a look. Firstly, a rotation of 180 degrees about the point minus 2, 0. So let's have a look at that. That's the point there. Now, to make 180 degrees, it's a straight line. So what I normally do is I just draw in some sort of guidelines, and that gives me a good idea of where this triangle is going to actually end up. Okay, so I'm going to go like that, and I'm going to go like that. Now, they're only guidelines because really what we should do this is by vector. So basically we're saying that this movement here to get to this point is a long one and an up one. So if it's 180 degrees, it's going to be a long one and down one, and that's going to take me to this point here. Okay, this point is a long 2 and up one, so a long 2 and down one. Okay, it's going to take me that point there. And then this one here, if you really want to go that far, but hopefully you'll be able to see now, it's a long 1.5, and then it's going to be up 4, so a long 1.5 and down 4 is going to take me to that point. So basically now I've got my new triangle, which is going to be here. Okay, so apologies, it's not the best drawing in the world, but hopefully it's okay for you. All right, so that's my new triangle. Then it says it's followed by a translation with a vector of that. Well, all that means then is we've got that line. That's not a negative. I'm sorry, I've just done that with my pen. It's -3, +2. Okay, all right, so so what we're going to do is take each of these points and we're going to move them by this vector. So -3 is going to be a long 3 and then up 2, so it's going to end up there. Okay, this one is going to be a long 3, 1, 2, 3, and up 2 is going to end up there. And this one is a long 3, so that's a half, 1, 2, 3 is there. Okay, and then it's going to be up 2, so it's going to be there. Okay, so what we've got now is the new location of our triangle, and that's going to be there. Okay, so this is for 2 marks, so it's quite a lot of work, I think, really, for 2 marks. But then it says 1 point on triangle A is invariant under the combined transformations. Find the coordinate at this point. Oh, right, okay. All it means really is that point hasn't moved. Okay, or it's actually located back in the same place it was when we first started. Okay, so if you look at the different points of the triangle, well, basically this point has moved from there to there. Okay, and actually this point and this point have also moved, because what they've done is they've flipped over. They've kind of gone from here to here. Okay, I'm probably not explaining this particularly well, but it basically has flipped over. It's now the other side. So the only point that hasn't moved in its entirety, it hasn't changed, is going to be actually this point right in the middle here. Okay, so that particular point is going to be -3.51. Okay, now I will try to find some more questions with these kind of invariant points on them. It might be worthwhile giving it a go at some point on some of the videos, but I haven't got anything on the channel at the moment, I'm afraid. It's one of these very new topics that we haven't come across too often before. Okay, however, I do hope the whole of the paper has been useful to you. Please do like the video if you found it useful. It'd be really appreciated. Add a comment below if you're not sure about anything, and I look forward to seeing you inside the next video.